panels from Osmotion. Okay, so I've just thrown the BEDRUG in here now. Come around here. This is the side that I've got done. I love it. Sides down, I'm going to cut these holes out. Really stressing me out to try and get all this stuff to work together, but these Osmotion panels are absolutely sick. Like, how cool is that? Having the versatility of all this Osmotion moly panel. Righto, update. So essentially you can buy the moly panels whatever you want from Osmotion. So you can customize how you want it. They've also got some little cages and stuff that I'm going to be probably putting in the corners here. Again, I've got to figure out how they all go together. There is a full Osmotion instruction manual here as well on how to fit everything, where everything has to go. So I think there's some nut zerning you need to do up in the tub. But again, it's trying to get these products to work with other products that they're probably not all designed. Like, all these companies didn't get together and design all their stuff together. So I've got to, yeah, work around everything, undo some things and to bolt other things back in and work my way around it. But we're going to get the Osmotion panels, moly panels put in. But yeah, there's osmotion.com if you want to check out their website. I'll have all the links in the description for these guys if you want to jump over there and get some moly panels for your Ranger or Raptor. If you were doing any of these installs from any of these companies individually, very easy, simple. Their processes are but when you're trying to add it with other companies and other things and having all these different components put together, there is a process that you have to do it, and things have to go in together. Hence roller shutter, J-brace, bolts going in, bolts going through. Basically what I've done is I've had to pull the nut, so the J-brace goes on, then two nuts go on the outside of it. So I've had to remove those nuts, then unwind the internal tie-down bracket out, then cut holes in the BEDRUG, then put bolts through the BEDRUG, through the moly panel, and then tighten them down, and then I'll have to put the J-brace bolts back in underneath the tub. So there's definitely a process to do this, and it's been a big day. Okay, so we are in the darkness under the roller shutter. See all those little lights? So that is daylight coming through the front of the tub there from underneath the roller shutter, like at the front section of the tub. So we're gonna go along with sticker flex and seal them off, stop any water coming in. I will have to do some modifications to the front of the BEDRUG because I do have the water channels just here in the front of the tub on both sides. So I probably will have to cut holes out and then stick them back through the BEDRUG and back out. So yeah, just rolling around in the back of the tub here. It's pretty uncomfortable, but with the BEDRUG, it's going to be way more comfortable because you're not going to be laying on these bloody hard ribs anymore. So it should be pretty good. And then I probably will have to do some, I'll have to do some modifying around here as well. But that'll be easy, just be able to undo that, punch a hole through the BEDRUG, put the bolts back in. It's just a constant process of cutting, changing, manipulating things so that way everything works together. But I'll come back to you guys shortly when I've got a bit of an update on how I'm going. But it is definitely stressing me out to try and get all this stuff to work together. But these Osmotion panels are absolutely sick. Like, how cool is that? Come around here. This is the side that I've got done now already. It looks absolutely sick. I love it. So now I'll be able to use the moly panel to put anything I want there. So it's a matter of getting the BEDRUG, then the Osmotion moly panel, then the bolts through, then putting the tie-down bracket back on, and then putting the nuts on the outside for the J-brace that's on the inside of the tub. So everything has to go in together, and it was impossible for me to do these as like individual installs, so all this stuff has to go in at the same time. But yeah, this will have to come out because I am going to put the compressor, the ARB compressor, down in here eventually. So I do have this side here to go now, which is going to spend the rest of the afternoon, probably into tonight, getting all this done. But how good does the Osmotion panel look with the BEDRUG in here as well? So all the factory lights go back in, but then having the versatility of all this Osmotion Molly panel just looks absolutely sick. And then we've got some different pieces from Osmotion as well. This is the other panel that goes on the other side, but then we're going to be having some there's some boxes and stuff that bolt directly to the Molly panel to put leads and straps and all sorts of things in. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. I'm going to keep cracking on into tonight, getting the other side done. Going to put the bolts back on the J brace now on this side, get all the flare put back on, and yeah, I'm not going to be able to lift my arms tomorrow. It's been rolling around in the tub literally all day, holding things up, bolting things, plugging holes, and it's been a mission, but we'll keep cracking on. Okay, so it got pretty late the other night when I was actually fitting all the rest of the Osmotion panels in there. I think I was out there till like 8-9 o'clock at night the other night, getting it all sorted, getting the BEDRUG all configured how I wanted to get it all in and sorted, and I was pretty happy on how it all turned out. So I'm going to show you guys now exactly how it all come together. So this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to get some cool packs and stuff and put on the Osmotion panels. Got a first aid kit just here. I've also got a snake bite kit on this little cage here. So what you do is these little holes along the Molly panel, you put a nut zert in there, you crush the nut zert in there, and then you can configure this however you want, and you can buy a bunch of different cages and stuff, these little boxes from Osmotion, and configure this through the Molly panel section however you would like to do it for yourself. So long term, this panel here will come out, and I'm going to be putting the ARB factory Ford compressor behind here. So this pocket here will be for my air leads. But cool little things like this. This is a grenade pouch my missus got me from the States. So got my deflators in there. But just a cool little way of, this stuff's ex-US Army, a mag pouch there with one of those kick-ass torches just in there as well. And then I'll put my air leads and stuff in here. But yeah, you can configure this however you like now. I've got the jack relocation bracket just up here. You might see a bit of water dripping. I was doing some water testing to see where I'm still getting some water in. So this is the jack relocation bracket. So we took the jack out from behind the seat because the battery went in there, and Osmotion do this bracket here, which you can put anywhere that there's these little holes. You just put your nut zerts in there, crush them in, and you can configure out however you like, which is pretty sweet. Come over this side. So on this side I've just got this little box here with some straps, just in case I've got to tie something down in the back. But again, you've got all the holes here on this side as well. Got cutouts there for your lights. Your tie down points are still all functional. And then Osmotion do in this section here, Osmotion do their own power panels that you can get as well. So then you can get like USBs and Anderson plugs, whatever you want, you can put in there. Here I'm going to be putting the new MITS alloy panel, hence why I've been doing some water testing on the EGR roller shutter, because I got in there the other night and I'm getting a little bit of water coming from one of the sides down here. So I'll get onto that in a minute with you, I'll talk about that, but I'm pretty stoked on this Osmotion panel. It's pretty bloody cool. So you're probably wondering how I actually got these in there with the BEDRUG. So what I did is I actually mounted them up the front. I kept all the bolts loose, I didn't tighten anything. Put the front bolts in first, and then I brought these two panels together. So I put it in this back corner down here, I put this back section in, and then I brought both panels together like that, and then bolted them in the middle there. Bolt just there, and there's a bolt just down there, and just the nut on the back side as well, so they just bolt together in the middle. And then I didn't have to put the nut zert up in the top up there. I didn't worry about that because the panels actually sit behind this bracket that's holding the EGR roller shutter on, so I didn't have to do that. There's no way that this is ever coming out now. It is very secure. Got some other bolts up in here where they bolt to as well, and then it also bolts down here to this rear tie down bracket just down there. So I'm super happy with this. It's bloody cool, and exactly how I'm wanting it to turn out. But the BEDRUG was an absolute must for me. This had to go in. So I'll show you the back of the, I don't think I've showed you the section here on the back of the tailgate. So essentially what I did is I didn't actually use any of the, actually no, that's a lie. I used some of the Velcro down here that comes with the BEDRUG to seal that down on the tailgate. But for the most part, I just put it in there because of the roller shutter and the molly panels. It's pretty well secure. It can't go anywhere. So that's kind of why I did that. But down here, I pulled the bolts out of the tailgate and actually screwed them down through the BEDRUG to hold the tailgate section in place. And then this little section here just stays like that. It can either fall down that direction or it just kind of sits up like that. Put your things in and it just shuts. It shuts with the tailgate. But I'm going to talk to you about the dust and water. So I've been doing some water testings on the EGR roller shutter, and for the most part it's actually pretty impressive on water. It's never going to be guaranteed that you're not going to get any water in there, but it does a pretty good job of directing the water out through those front 2 channels at the front and also down through the rear, which is super nice. I'm just waiting on my dust kit to show up from EGR. That thing's been on back order for about a month, so waiting on that to show up now. But this is the other section I was going to show you. So on the earlier generation, before, if you got a Raptor that has a factory roller shutter, you won't have these because they're sealed off. So I had a ton of water pouring in around these things here. This is where like you can add a bed cage or something or whatever you want to do, or hungry boards. So I've siliconed these up the best I can and the neatest I can, so that way they're all sealed. But what I'm going to do is there's this rubber just here that runs along the EGR roller track. I'm going to run some sticker flex all the way along that, pry it open with probably with a flathead screwdriver, and then run sticker flex along there to seal that up, because I am getting a drip around this region somewhere, which I think it's just running down between there, and that's where I'm going to be putting the new MITS alloy power panel here on the inside. So I definitely don't want any water on that, so I'll make sure that's sealed. But yeah, so essentially you just pop these things out. If you want to seal them up, run some silicone around the outside or some sticker flex, pop them back in, and then just use your finger just to smooth that out, and yeah, you wouldn't even know now. As far as dust in the front of the tub, just down here between the back window and the front of the tub, there is like a sill that runs through there, and you will see, I think it's like 8 holes along there, little tiny ones. I've plugged them from the inside. You would have seen earlier in the video, plugged them from the inside with some little rubber plugs. But for the most part, the BEDRUG does a great job of sealing the back of the tub from any dust. The only other hole that is in the back of the tub is just up here. If you stick your finger in there, there is a hole. So what I'll do in that section up there is I'll probably end up getting a sponge just from Super Cheap or something, and cutting it up and forcing a sponge up in there. And it's cheap, it does the job in that front part of the panel up there in the tub, and it's going to stop any dust coming in because it's going to clog that hole. That's what I'm probably going to do up the front there, just because there's nothing else that you can do up in the front there and to seal that off. I'm just going to cut a sponge in half and shove a sponge up in there, brand new one from the auto shop or whatever. So that's how I'll get around that. And then when the dust buster kit shows up here for the rear, we'll get that installed. But yeah, that's the Osmotion panels. I think they look pretty cool, and I'm super happy with them. But now we're going to get on to running our cabling and a few other components that we're going to be putting under the bonnet for our 12 volt install to be finished off. Okay, so now we're going to be moving on to finishing off the power install. We've got to run some cabling, we've got to do some crimping. I've actually bought some new crimping tools, some stuff that I haven't had before in my workshop. So I bought some new crimping tools, some crimps and all the rest of it to do some bigger cabling. And we're going to be running some cables from the front battery through to the custom lithium battery in the rear, and then to the back to our new MITS alloy power panel, which will be coming at the end of this little build series here on the Raptor. So another component that we need for under the bonnet, we need somewhere to mount our fuses. So our MIDI fuses, we need somewhere to mount them, running from here to the back of the custom lithium battery. Basically, we have the electrical accessory bracket here. So this is for the Ford Ranger and the Everest and also Raptor. This bracket here will essentially replace the factory one that is here on top of the battery. So we're going to be replacing this one here, and this will just, these little brackets and stuff will just allow me to do it really cleanly. Just like I mentioned when I put the battery in there, you don't even know that I've got a 200 amp hour battery behind the seat. Same with the molly panels, the BEDRUG, everything. I want to be clean, tidy. I don't want things just screwed under the bonnet anywhere, here, there, into the firewall. I just want everything super tidy, super clean, and some of the stuff that TLR are making right now is super cool, and I've got some other stuff coming up here in the future when we do the interior video of some TLR gear that's also available for your interior and also your UHFs. But I've got some cool stuff coming. Have thought about what I'm going to do on the tub, on the back of the tub, whether I was going to do a tub rack or something like that. So another video coming very soon, but let's get onto the power, get this finished off. That is pretty sick. I actually really like that. So now we'll be able to mount our MIDI fuses straight to the top of that. Hello, me and Trevor putting the wiring in for the custom lithium battery and the new MITS alloy panel. We've been going on this all day. It's been heaps of fun.
Awesome fun.
With the mud and the dirt and the
rain.
else, so. Basically, this part of the build, guys, is just running your cables from your battery all the way through to the back, and then back to your battery behind the seat. And it's just slow and tedious, and I highly recommend just to get a professional to do it, because it's quite the, you have a lot of dirt in your eyes by the end of the day.
Yeah, it's a bit of a challenge.
I'm pretty sure it was 8 BNS cable that we've ran through here. So we've got both of them joined up with the main harness running through the back of the Raptor, and then one splits off across there, follows the main harness, and it'll go back up into the tub up there. We've just drilled a hole up there, going to put a gland in, and then the rest of it runs forward through here along the chassis and back up through there next to that harness, and goes back up to the main battery. So yeah, a bit of wiring. Highly suggest getting someone else to do it. Okay, so me and Trev spent all Saturday doing the wiring on this thing. It was quite a mission getting the wiring all ran. Took us kind of all day together to get the wiring done. Did a bunch of connectors and stuff at the back, which I'm about to show you for the last part of the 12 volt system. But here's underneath the bonnet here. So we do have the TLR bracket. This is for mounting all your MIDI fuses, so you can mount as many as you long and want here. And that just goes directly over the top of your factory battery bracket, essentially. And then you've got little slots here for zip ties and things. And I've got my cabling just there, ran down the back, and then it runs down along the chassis rails all the way to the back of the Raptor, which I'm about to show you now. But yeah, get onto TLR, links in the description. They've got a bunch of cool little products on there for just mountability, for mounting things like, yeah, MIDI fuses, all your kind of toe connectors and stuff at the back, for a bunch of different vehicles. Then they've got some accessories that they're doing for interiors and things like that. So jump on there, put in your vehicle details, and it'll bring up all the different basically brackets and things they have for your vehicle. And I do have more coming from TLR as the build progresses. I've got some more brackets of theirs. So in the back of the tub, this is what me and Trev did the other day. So I've done all this wiring myself. Basically, we have solar just here that we've ran through the plastic standard Ford panel. You can get Osmotion's panel here as well, but for what I'm about to fit, this is what I wanted to do. So I've got solar just here. I also have vehicle 12 volts, so this is coming directly from that MIDI fuse up the front. So I've got power coming from there. This will go straight to the DC-DC. And then here we also have back to the battery, the custom lithium battery behind the seat. So this is the new MIT system that I'm about to show you guys. And it's all plug and play, so it's pretty cool, but just thought I'd show you how I've ran the glands through there. And then what I'm doing for solar is I've actually, at the back of the Raptor down here, I'm actually going to put the solar connector just here near the plug, so that way I can just connect solar with having the tub still closed and things like that. I'll end up putting that just down here. I haven't done that yet, but I will get onto that. I have the cabling there. I've just got to terminate the end and put the solar there, so that's what I'll end up doing with that. But yeah, for the most part, that's the power, all the cabling and stuff ran. I'll show you behind the seat now, the cabling going to the battery. Positive, negative running to the battery. It's pretty tidy and it runs down behind the trim there. And then we've ran it down through the channel through here, and then it goes directly out through the floor just down here and sits in. There's a little cable tray on the driver's side, the rear passenger door. There's a little cable tray that we've ran in there, and that's how we've hooked up the battery. So I've shown you guys the Molly panel, getting the rest of the BEDRUG installed in the back of the Raptor here. But we're now going to move on to the MIT's alloy 12 volt system. This thing is bad to the bone, and I can't wait to show you guys this. And we're going to install this in the next video. So make sure you guys like, subscribe, stay tuned for the next episode coming out, where we're going to go in depth on this MIT's alloy panel, and we're going to get this thing installed in the back of the Raptor. Plus, there's another thing up there that I've already installed. Catch you later.